All right, Slick. So what are we covering today in terms of years? Ooh, excellent. Let's do it. Okay, so here I am in the kitchen because I do cook. I do cook a lot, actually. I do a lot of it, or most of it. So I just thought it would be different to shoot this part about 1994 and 1995. The big thing about 1994 and 1995 musically in the music industry and just as a whole for rock and metal, it wasn't a good time. A lot of bands were playing in smaller clubs. Iron Maiden was, Judas Priest was with Tim Ripper Owens when Halford left. So I saw that tour with Judas Priest for the Jugulator tour. Great tour, excellent set too. One of the big concerts that I saw that year, there was a couple, but the first one that was a really big highlight because it was my one chance, not one chance. It was my finally able to see the band I always wanted to see live, and that was Motorhead. Saw them at the World, open up for Black Sabbath for Black Sabbath's Cross Purposes tour with Tony Martin. Great album, great tour, great concert, great set for Black Sabbath. But boy, never seen actually Sabbath with this lineup. I saw them with Dio, of course. Can't go wrong with Black Sabbath and Dio. That for me was my favorite. But Tony Martin was really good, great vocalist too. But the band that opened them up was Motorhead. It was for the Bastards tour. And as you can remember in the previous episode, I talk about Bastards. Bastards being one of their classic albums now, and just the whole overall of making that album. So that was classic, brilliant. Now here's the thing about the Motorhead show. It was like 65 minutes they played. The set list was awesome. We were, Rob and I, and Rob Gavitz, who wrote Give Me Rock, Give Me Death with me. We were like, maybe 3 feet away from the stage, and it was just brilliant. And just a brilliant set, and I was more than hooked on Motorhead. It proved why they were the loudest and tightest band, with Mickey D on drums, Woozle on guitar, Phil Campbell on the other side on guitar, and of course Lemmy. Lemmy comes out on the stage and says, "We are Motorhead, and we are rock and roll. We're gonna kick your ass." And boy, did he ever! It was just right from the start, brilliant, heavy, loud. Went to see them in '95, open up for Sabbath in Lulu's in Kitchener, and that was for their Forbidden album for Black Sabbath. Good album, good tour. And then Sacrifice was the album that Lemmy toured with at Lulu's in Kitchener. So really, 2 years in a row to see Motorhead, that was just brilliant. That was just the best. And in that time frame, I actually saw, for the first time, Jackal, who played the previous year with Damn Yankees for their 1992 album, the Jackal album. But when Push Comes to Shove came out as an album for Jackal, they came to Toronto at RPM, that then became The World, which is where a lot of bands like Judas Priest with Tim Ripper Owens played there. But Jackal was just one loud, true to their name, pure rock and roll. And that was in July 30th time frame for seeing them, and it was great. And then going over to the summer in August, I went to see Kim Mitchell. Now Kim Mitchell's an interesting one because Kim Mitchell was a huge influence on me for songwriting, guitar playing, just about everything. And his albums on his own were unbelievably great, really, really good. But Max Webster was a big, huge band for me because they had Pi Dubois, who wrote a lot of the songs with Max Webster, who wrote Tom Sawyer with Rush at that time frame in '81 with Neil Peart. So just a bit of trivia there. Great, just great everything about that whole album, and of course with Moving Pictures. But Kim Mitchell's "Shaking Like a Human Being" was a definite must to get, a Kimball logo. So those were really, really good shows, and of course that was my second date with my wife now, Stephanie Boone Sagansky, and she just got it. She just loved it that night with Kim Mitchell. And she didn't know their songs, but she did have a good time, and the people that opened up for Kim Mitchell at the Kingswood Music Theater on August 15th, I guess, of 1994 was Sass Jordan, who blew me away as a vocalist. And her band was tight. They actually opened up at the start with "Finding My Way" from Rush, from the very first album. There's a bit of trivia there too. But really great, like just incredibly talented. But the whole show was great, and was a great second date, actually. So that's my story for that. So 1994, very important and unique year for one and only one reason. That is how my life changed when I met the right person, and that was my wife, Stephanie Sagansky, or Stephanie Boone at that moment. And it was a life-changing thing because, well, she's still with me, I'm still with her, and we're just doing the adventure together. And so how did I meet her? Well, I can condense the story within 2 minutes. Basically, I went to a life drawing class in Sheridan College in the summer of 1994 in August 1st actually, and I went in. It was her friend who was the life drawing model that night, and basically what that meant was she needed to ride home to Mississauga. Carolyn Plummer vouched for me and said, yeah, he's a good guy, he'll take you home. So I did. We decided to go see Forrest Gump on the following Saturday night, and it was good. We just went as friends and whatever. It was a great movie, highly recommended. And then later that night when I got home, and then later in the night I get a call from her, Diana, saying, you want to talk to my friend? I said, okay, sure. 1:45 in the morning. Here, talk to my friend. Stephanie gets on the phone, and it was like I knew her all my life. We found out we grew up in the same town. We started talking about a few things, made 2 dates. I went to see The Lion King on the following Wednesday, and then the following Saturday, I went to see Kim Mitchell with Sass Jordan opening up at Kingswood Music Theater. We went to see The Lion King. And I decided, hey, let's go to HMV after, and that was my test to see, is she gonna run once she knows what kind of music I really like and what I do. So we ran down the street like a bunch of idiots to HMV, went upstairs, went to the heavy metal section, showed her the different bands that I like, and she didn't wince, she didn't run away. And I said, man, okay, this is my big chance here, and I think this might be the one. And it was. I was right. Intuitively, I knew almost immediately that this was going to be the one that I was going to be with for the rest of my life. And she didn't run away on the music part. She thought it was actually quite cool. So I even played her some music in the car when I took her home that night, which she thought was pretty interesting. And those songs weren't that great, actually. They were really bad. Put it on a tape cassette. Anyways, aside from that, we started getting to know each other. We went to see more concerts and did a lot more things together. She became obviously the one that I was going to be spending the rest of my life with. And that, in a nutshell, is how I met my wife, and why 1994 is a very important year and very significant year in my whole life. It's one that I'll never forget, of course. How could you? I met the best person in the world, and my best friend. So, love her dearly. And in the next episode, you'll see how that all came about with getting married. And that was a great, great moment too in my life. Big life-changing moment. I've had a few. That was one of them. 1996, but that's another episode. So 94, 95, I was going to school. She was working, and we were just going to see concerts. She went to see, actually, Judas Priest with Ripper Tim Owens at the Government in Toronto, and she loved it. And I went to see a few of the people that she followed, like Barry Manilow. Okay, so I finally admitted on video, yes, I did see Barry Manilow with my wife at, actually it was at the Molson Amphitheater, but now known as the Budweiser Theater. I did go see it 4 rows away from the stage. He was amazing. He was actually really good. And then she went to see Megadeth at Maple Leaf Gardens. So we traded for Manilow for Megadeth. True story. And yes, the comments can come in and say, how could you? How did you? He was actually really good. Really impressive, actually. Really good showman. So there you go. That's my story. Love you, sweetie.